Butter is one of the most trusted foods in Indian kitchens, used every single day without hesitation. But behind familiar wrappers and iconic names, industrial processing and long storage quietly change what ends up on your plate. 13. Country Delight. Country Delight positions its butter as farm-fresh and traditional, appealing strongly to Indian families looking for purity and authenticity. The brand narrative focuses on direct sourcing and home-style quality, which creates immediate trust and reduces the likelihood that consumers question the product. The concern lies in scale versus image. To serve a large urban customer base, Country Delight still relies on centralized processing, cold chain logistics, and storage. Butter is not churned fresh for each household, and freshness depends on logistics efficiency rather than the story being told. There is also limited transparency for consumers. Details about cream age, batch-level freshness, and storage duration are not clearly disclosed. Indian buyers are encouraged to trust the promise of purity, not verifiable information about how the butter is actually produced and handled.
12. Quality. Quality is a familiar dairy name in India, known for its wide range of mass-market products. Because the brand has existed for decades, many consumers assume its butter meets acceptable everyday standards without ever examining how it is made or handled. The issue is industrial scale. Quality butter is produced for broad distribution, which means heavy standardization and long shelf life take priority over freshness. Cream is processed in bulk, and natural variation is removed to ensure uniform taste across regions. Another concern is the lack of clear consumer information. Packaging offers little detail about milk sourcing, cream age, or storage duration. Indian consumers rely on brand familiarity, not transparent quality indicators, when choosing a product that is consumed almost daily.
11. Heritage Foods. Heritage Foods is widely trusted in India for its milk and dairy products, especially in southern states. That familiarity carries over to its butter, making it an easy default choice for households that value consistency and availability over deeper scrutiny. The concern is large-scale processing. To meet constant demand, Heritage Foods butter is produced with heavy standardization and extended storage. Freshness becomes secondary to shelf life, and the butter is designed to travel and last rather than reflect recently churned cream. There is also very limited transparency for consumers. Details about milk quality, cream handling, and how long the butter remains in cold storage are not clearly shared. Indian buyers trust the brand's presence, not verified information about the product's journey. 10. Anand the Dairy. Anand the Dairy is a popular butter brand in North India, often chosen because it feels local and dependable. Many households trust it instinctively, assuming that a familiar regional brand must offer fresher and better quality butter. The issue lies in distribution and scale. To supply large urban markets, Anand the Dairy relies on centralized processing and long cold chain logistics. Butter can spend extended periods in storage and transit, reducing freshness despite the traditional image. Another concern is transparency. Consumers are not informed about how old the cream is before churning or how long the butter is stored before sale. In a climate-sensitive product like butter, this missing information matters far more than most people realize. 9. Patanjali. Patanjali butter carries a powerful image of tradition, wellness, and natural living. Many Indian consumers believe that anything under the Patanjali name is automatically healthier and closer to traditional dairy practices, which reduces the urge to question the product itself. The concern is the gap between image and scale. Patanjali butter is produced for mass distribution across India, which requires industrial processing, long storage, and strict standardization. This reality conflicts with the simple traditional image used in marketing.
Another issue is limited transparency. Consumers are not clearly informed about milk sourcing consistency, cream handling, or storage timelines. The brand narrative encourages trust, but trust replaces verification, and most buyers never look beyond the promise printed on the wrapper. 8. Avon. Avon butter is widely consumed in Tamil Nadu and trusted because it comes from a state-run dairy cooperative. Government association creates a sense of safety, leading many Indian consumers to assume strict quality control without questioning how the butter is actually processed. The concern lies in scale and consistency. Avon supplies massive daily volumes, and butter production is heavily standardized to meet demand. When output and distribution take priority, freshness and variation in milk quality can be compromised across batches. There is also limited transparency for consumers. Packaging provides little information about cream age, storage duration, or cold chain handling. In a hot and humid climate, these details matter. Yet buyers rely on institutional trust instead of clear process visibility. 7. Nandini. Nandini butter is a staple in Karnataka and surrounding regions, trusted by generations of Indian families. As a cooperative brand, it carries a strong image of farmer support and freshness, which makes consumers feel confident choosing it without hesitation. The concern is scale. Nandini supplies enormous daily volumes, and butter production is optimized for consistency and distribution. When standardization becomes the priority, freshness and natural variation in cream quality can be reduced to meet demand. Another issue is transparency. Consumers are not clearly informed about cream storage time, processing timelines, or how butter is handled during transport. In India's climate, even small breaks in the cold chain can affect quality, yet these details remain unseen by buyers. 6. Govardhan. Govardhan butter is marketed as rich and premium, appealing to Indian households that want better taste and quality. The branding suggests superior cream and careful preparation, which leads many consumers to trust the product without questioning how it is produced at scale. The concern lies in industrial standardization. To maintain uniform taste across regions, Govardhan relies on centralized processing and bulk cream handling. This approach prioritizes consistency and shelf life over freshness, which is especially important for a dairy fat like butter. Another issue is limited disclosure. Consumers are not told how old the cream is before churning or how long the butter remains in storage. The premium image replaces transparency, leaving buyers relying on perception rather than clear information. 5. Milky Mist. Milky Mist is positioned as a modern, premium dairy brand in India, often chosen by urban consumers looking for better quality butter. Clean packaging and strong branding create the impression of freshness and careful handling, which discourages deeper questioning. The concern is large-scale production. To meet nationwide demand, Milky Mist butter is produced through centralized processing with heavy standardization. Freshness is sacrificed for consistency, allowing the product to travel and sit in storage for extended periods. Another issue is transparency. Consumers are not given clear information about milk sourcing timelines, cream age, or storage duration. Indian buyers trust the polished image, while the actual production and handling details remain out of sight. 4. Verka. Verka butter is strongly associated with Punjab's dairy culture, which gives it an image of richness and authenticity. Many Indian consumers believe that butter from a milk-rich region must automatically be fresher and higher quality, so the product is rarely questioned. The concern lies in distribution and scale. Verka supplies butter beyond its home region, which requires centralized processing and long cold chain logistics.
As distance and storage time increase, freshness naturally declines even if the original milk quality was good. There is also limited transparency for buyers. Packaging does not clearly explain cream storage time, processing schedules, or how long the butter has been kept before sale. Regional reputation replaces clear information, and consumers rely on image instead of verified details.
3. Britannia. Britannia butter is trusted by millions of Indian families because the brand is deeply tied to everyday food habits. Its long presence in Indian kitchens creates a sense of safety, making people assume the butter is reliable without questioning how it is produced or stored. The issue is mass market scale. Britannia butter is made for nationwide distribution, which requires heavy standardization and long shelf life. To achieve this, freshness and natural variation in cream quality are reduced in favor of consistency and transport efficiency. Another concern is transparency. Consumers are not told how old the cream is before churning or how long the butter stays in cold storage. The brand's familiarity replaces clear process information, leaving buyers trusting habit rather than verified quality. 2. Mother Dairy. Mother Dairy is one of the most familiar butter brands in Indian cities, trusted for decades as part of daily household consumption. Its cooperative image gives consumers confidence, making many assume the butter is always fresh and carefully controlled. The concern is large-scale distribution. To meet constant urban demand, Mother Dairy butter is produced and stored in bulk, often spending extended periods in cold storage. Shelf life and availability take priority over how recently the butter was actually churned. There is also limited transparency for buyers. Packaging provides little information about cream age, processing timelines, or storage duration. Consumers trust the cooperative name, not clear details about how the butter moves from dairy to table. 1. Amul. Amul is the most dominant butter brand in India, so familiar that many people simply call butter Amul. That level of cultural presence creates absolute trust, and most households never question the product because it feels inseparable from daily Indian life. The concern lies in sheer scale. Amul operates one of the largest dairy supply chains in the world, sourcing milk from millions of farmers and distributing nationwide. To manage this volume, butter production relies heavily on standardization, long storage, and strict shelf life control, where freshness becomes secondary to consistency. Another issue is transparency. While Amul openly communicates its cooperative structure, it shares very little about cream age, storage duration, or batch-level freshness. Consumers trust the legacy in the brand story, not clear information about how recently the butter was actually produced. Butter is consumed daily in Indian homes, yet few people question how it is made or stored. Understanding processing and freshness helps consumers make better choices instead of relying on brand familiarity alone.